Hi, I'm Grant Show, and welcome to Spotlight On. We were talking with Richard Lawson. Last week we stopped when you were just telling us about the epiphany you had when you decided you wanted to be an actor, when you wanted to be a performer and a passionate performer.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
So I was doing this musical, and it was a wonderful experience. And I was in. I was an actor, and I was going to be an actor the rest of my life. So I was a sponge, and I just soaked up everything I could in terms of learning and all like that. Not too long after I started working, I heard about production of Hair in San Francisco. And I went over there and green and not really knowing very much, just having a little taste of it. And I auditioned. And I was really so bad that it was like, it was so ridiculous. It was ridiculously bad. But because compared to everybody else that was auditioning, these were real singers and dancers and stuff like that. Needless to say, I didn't get that job. But, it didn't stop me. I went over to this other, they were doing a production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I auditioned for that, and then I got the understudy in that.
This is in San Francisco.
This is in San Francisco. 3 weeks after I was in that play, there was another play that was coming in town called No Place to Be Somebody, which was a Pulitzer Prize play written by Charles Gordon. I went and auditioned for that, and I got the part. So now this is my first production, professional production, where I am in the theater. I'm starring with Ben Vereen and Philip Michael Thomas and Mae Mercer and a bunch of people.
You're here.
I'm here. I've arrived on Broadway.
Wow.
And so I did that play for almost a year. We did a production in San Francisco, then we went to Detroit and opened in Detroit, and then Baltimore, and then we closed in Baltimore. And I had to make a decision whether to go to New York or whether to come to L.A. My wife's family, her family was producing Lady Sings the Blues. And so I decided to come out here and try to get a part in that, which I didn't. But, I started.
And how long after you moved to Los Angeles did you start working on streamers?
Oh, I moved to L.A. December 6, 1971. And Streamers came about in 1977.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've been here for
working
professionally already for quite some time.
Yeah.
Did you do the original production? Did you create that role?
No, I didn't. That role was created by a guy named, I think, Ed Martin. His last name was Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it at the New Haven at the Long Wharf earlier in the year, and I swear he was just terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I went to lunch with him.
I haven't seen your performance of that, but I've heard you were terrifying.
Well, you know what? It's really interesting because I think I probably have one of the most unique experiences in theater history. During the production of Streamers, 14 people were carried out on stretchers from having heart attacks or passing out.
Wow.
And I killed 2 people in the play. And
You do a little more than that in that play, but you do a little more than that in that play, don't you?
Yeah, no, I do more than that. But 2 people wind up getting killed. But
it's pretty brutal play.
It's a very intense, play, but psychologically intense.
Mm-hmm.
And right in the middle of the production, paramedics, somebody would say, please, is there a doctor in the house? Somebody help me. And then the people would be like, oh my God, is this part of the production or what? The paramedics would come in and put them on a gurney and take them out, and people would be freaked. They freaked. But that play sort of started my career. It really established my career.
And that was directed by Milton Cassels, right?
It was directed by Milton, yeah.
And that's when you met him. You had a very long history with him and studied with him and worked teaching his style for about 30 years now, is that correct?
Yes, I've been teaching for him for about 30 years. But I was his student while I was in that production, which was part of the problem, I thought at the time. Because I knew that, that when he finally got the job, it's like I was his student. How was he going to justify that? But I went in there and the audition that I gave, so freaked out the director. I mean, not the director, but the producer and Richard Thomas, because I took a knife to the throat of the producer and threatened him.
Yeah,
As the
I
character
wouldn't suggest that very often.
No, I wouldn't suggest it either. But you know what? It got me the job. He was scared out of his mind, but I had to take him there. That's what that character was about.
Yeah.
But I was a student of Milton since '76.
That's all the time we have this week. Thanks for joining us. We'll come back next week and we'll talk a little bit more with Richard Lawson about his work as a coach and a teacher. Thank you.